today's video is 2 New Year's Eve makeup looks in one. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more choice for how to wear your New Year's Eve makeup. I've gone for one that's more focused on the eyes and one that's more focused on the lips. So I'm sure that some of the makeup that I have done will be able to accommodate you guys with your New Year's Eve adventures. I don't really think there's that much that I need to say, other than I hope you guys do enjoy this makeup. I really enjoyed creating them. I think that the first look is my favourite, and I think I'll definitely be wearing that when I go on my New Year's Eve adventures with my friends. And I really hope you guys do enjoy this, and if you would like to know how I do both of these tutorials, then please just keep on watching. So I am starting off by applying some sticky tape to the corner of my eyes. This is just because we are working with some quite pigmented shadows and we don't want them to be falling all over our face and our foundation. Then I'm going in with Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer and priming my eyes. This is just going to make sure that the eyeshadow and stuff lasts all night and doesn't go anywhere, and that it blends really easily. Then the first shadow I am taking is this matte NYX shadow on a Sigma fluffy blending brush. This is a very light, warm brown shadow, and I'm just buffing this into my crease to act as a transition colour. Now, when working with dark pigments, you really want to work with a light transition colour, which is going to make the look really professional and make everything look really blended together, because if you just use dark shadows, it's not going to transition into anything, which is going to make you look like a panda. So working with a light transition colour is really going to help. Then I'm going in with Swiss Chocolate from MAC and a smaller blending brush. I am just carving out my crease a little bit more, and this is going to help add to the definition and create a bit of depth and dimension to our eyes, rather than going straight from the really light to the really dark. It's just going to act as a good transition between all of the different colours. Then I'm going in with this even darker matte brown shadow, which is all crumbled unfortunately, but I am taking this and again just carving out my crease a little bit more and adding some more depth and dimension. Now, when the look is completely finished, we're not particularly going to see this look, but it is going to help with the overall blendedness of the look, so it's really important not to skip this step. So we're just going back and forth again, but not taking it as high as the original transition colours, so just really working it into that crease. Then I am going in with a clean blending brush and just blending everything together. That's one of the key steps, is to just keep going back in with blending brushes and making sure that it's all blended together and there's no harsh lines. After that I am going in with another blending brush, and then straight after that we're going to be taking Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue. This is going to save your life when working with loose pigments like we are today. I'm taking this Barry M Dazzle Dust, which is a loose pigment, and it's a gunmetal grey with a few blue and silver flicks in it, and you want to work quite quick with the glitter glue because it does dry very fast, but I'm applying this everywhere onto my lid that I want the pigment to stick to, and then I'm taking a flat synthetic brush and going straight in with that Barry M Dazzle Dust, and I'm applying this all over the lid where I want the Dazzle Dust and the main colour to go. And then I'm just going back in and repeating this and adding some more pigment each time. You don't want to go in with a really heavy hand first, because then it's just going to fall all over your face and not stick to your eye. So you just want to go back in layers and just build it up to the desired pigment that you want. And I really like the way that this looks, and it's definitely a glitzy look and perfect for New Year's. Then I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Mega Liner, my favourite liquid liner, and I'm applying a small winged liner. We don't want to apply too much of a thick band, just because we don't want to take away from the overall Dazzle Dust look, so we want to really focus the look on the Dazzle Dust and not too much on. Then I am going to be taking the tape off my eyes, and it's going to reveal a really nice crisp line. And then we're going to move on to the face for the moment, starting off with MAC's Prep and Prime, priming my face, applying this all over so that our makeup lasts for a really long time. Then I'm going to be taking Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and applying this under my eyes and on any blemishes that I have, and blending this in. I really like this concealer. It does give a decent amount of coverage but not looking too cake face. Then I'm taking my absolute favourite foundation of life, Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, although I'm not actually going to wear this on New Year's Eve because it's terrible in photos and I'm going to be taking quite a few photos on New Year's Eve, I think. But anyway, just for this, I love the way that it looks on my skin, so I'm applying it for my foundation and blending it in with a Sigma flat top kabuki brush. I have a link to the Sigma website in my description and a discount code if you guys would like to use that. And then once I have blended that in to my desired effect, I'm going in with Hard Candy's Glamouflage Concealer and using this as my highlight. I'm just applying this in the triangle under my eyes and on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the bottom of my cheeks and my chin, just to act as a bit of a highlight and balance out my face. Then I'm blending it in with a Real Techniques Expert contour brush, I believe that is, and I really like the look of the bright under eyes. Then I'm taking my Ben Nye Banana powder and applying this to set my concealer. I'm applying this everywhere that I applied that Hard Candy Glamouflage concealer, just to set it all in place so it doesn't crease. So I am starting off with the NYC Smooth Skin Sunny Bronzer as a bronzer to warm up my face. So I'm taking this with a larger angled brush and just hitting most of the areas that I will be contouring. But this is just so the lines don't look too harsh, just to soften it all up and add some warmth and definition to my face before I go on with my actual contouring. So I'm just hitting this on the temples of my face and my cheekbones and my jawline before I move on to my full-on contouring. And for my contouring, I'm taking a small duo fibre brush and my NARS Laguna bronzer, and I really like this for contouring just because it is a matte taupey shadow which is perfect to add definition without looking too orange. So I'm just going in and chiseling out the features that I bronzed up before, so that's my cheekbones, my temples, the sides of my nose and my jawline. And just because we are doing a New Year's Eve look, I'm going to go pretty heavy on the contour because in photos it's going to look great, and I do love doing a big contour for special occasions, so I'm kind of going a little bit all out for this. Because we're going pretty heavy on the eyes, lips and contour, I don't really want to do a blush, but I want to add a tiny bit of something. So I'm taking this super sheer Elf Baked blush, and I'll have the name listed below because I can't quite remember it, and I'm just hitting this very lightly on my cheeks and dragging it up towards my hairline just to add a very tiny bit of colour in. Then moving on to my highlighter, I'm taking Becca's highlighter and adding some glow to my face. This is in the shade Opal, and I absolutely love this highlighter. So I'm hitting this on the tops of my cheekbones, my bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and just a little bit above my eyebrows. And this is going to add a beautiful glow to your face, and I really do love highlighting. There's something about having a great glow to the skin that I love. So then after I have done that, we're going to move on to the eyebrows. I'm taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Brunette and just doing a normal brow routine, nothing crazy. Then I am taking this creamy white eyeshadow from my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette and using that as a highlight beneath my brow bone. Because we are going for such a heavy eye look, it's really important to highlight the brow bone just to separate it so that it doesn't look like your eyes are very closed. This is going to highlight your brows and really lift them up and arch them. I'm going to set my brows in place with the e.l.f. eyebrow gel. And then I'm going to curl my lashes in preparation for mascara and lashes. I'm using lashes from Forever 21 and mascara that is L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. Whilst the lash glue was drying, I decided I would do my lips first. So I'm just going to cover my lips with my foundation brush just to cancel out any pigmentation. And then I am taking NYX lip liner in the colour Dark Red, and I'm applying this to my full lips. I'm lining my lips and filling them in with this. And then once I have done with that, I'm going to apply the Bourjois Rouge Volupte liquid matte lip cream or something like that. I'll put the full name in the description. It's just a bright fire engine red matte lipstick that dries. It's kind of a liquid lipstick that then dries to a matte formula. but then I decided that that was not pigmented enough. So then I went in with Gerard Cosmetics Fire Engine matte lipstick and put that over the top, which again helped dry into a matte consistency. And I really liked the way that this turned out. I do have a 25% discount code for the full site of Gerard Cosmetics and Whitening Lightning. It's literally Ellie, my name, Ellie, so if you type that into the website for your order, you'll receive 25% off. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would use my discount code. I'm totally honest with you guys when I do say that I get commissions from this, and it would really help me out and it gives you guys a great discount, so I'd really appreciate if you guys did that. Anyway, now that the lips are done, I'm going back in and applying the lashes now they are complete. And then once the lashes are on, I'm just curling them, and then I'm taking Steeler's Kitten eyeshadow and applying that as an inner corner highlight. Because we are doing a very dark eye, a highlight in the inner corner is really important. It's just going to add that bit of openness to the eyes, and that does complete the look. That is the end of the first makeup look. So here it is, and we're going to be on to number 2 in a minute. And now to start on the second look. So as you can see, I have wiped off my red lipstick and we're going to be having a different colour lipstick. But first of all, we're starting off with a gel liner. So I'm applying a gel liner to my waterline and just below my waterline. And then once I have applied that all through the waterline and on the outer 2/3 of my lower lash line, I'm taking a pencil brush with that dark matte brown colour and I'm smoking that out. So I'm simply running it back and forth along the top of that gel liner to set it in place and also smoke out the lower lash line. So I'm just going to keep going back in with that and smoking it out. Then I'm taking a slightly bigger blending brush and tease, and I'm running that slightly lower than where the dark brown shadow is, and this is going to add to the smokiness. Then once I've done that, I'm going to finish off with my mascara on my lower lashes. This is Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I'm going to top back up with the Steeler Kitten just to really help with the brightness, especially because the eyes are now super dark. And then for the lips, I'm taking MAC's Cream Cup and applying that all over my lips and topping it off with NYX's Butter Gloss in the colour Creme Brulee. So I really didn't change a whole lot about the look, I just added a bit more smokiness to the eyes and changed the lip colour. So this look is really versatile and it's a really easy way to go between the two looks. You could start off with one, and if you didn't quite like it, you could change to the second, and it wouldn't take you too long to do that on New Year's Eve. This look is also going to be perfect for any big night out that you have, any big celebration. You don't just have to wear it on New Year's Eve. And this is the finished second look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these looks. Let me know which one you'll be wearing if you do take inspiration from me. So that is the end of the makeup looks. I really hope you guys did enjoy these videos. If you did enjoy them, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would really mean a lot to me. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and if you do recreate these looks, then please send me a picture on either of them. My links are in the description bar. And I just wanted to really quickly say thank you so much for all your support this year. 2014 has been a great year for me, from going to IMATS for the first time and moving to America for half a year, and I've done some really cool things, and I'm really glad that you guys were there to see them with me. I hope that you guys have had just as much of a great year as I have, and let's hope for an even better 2015. Stay safe with whatever you guys do on New Year's Eve, and have a great night, and I'll see you guys in the new year. Bye!